8 people skills you need to succeed. Having good people skills is essential for success at work and in life. These skills, also known as soft skills or emotional intelligence, can make all the difference. Here are a few you need to develop.
Active listening. Active listening involves listening very carefully to what the other person is saying without interrupting them. Then, taking your time to think and respond, rather than just answering as quickly as you can so you can say what you want to say.
A sense of humor. Humor is a great way of diffusing a tense situation. And being able to see the funny side of things can often help make the environment more pleasant and relaxed.
Empathy. Having an ability to relate to others and understand how they're feeling is a key skill. Empathy allows you to create relationships. It can also give you an insight into people's motives, which can help you predict responses.
Flexibility. It's important to have opinions and ideas, but you also need to be able to respond to changes. When the situation transforms, you need to be able to adapt.
Persuasive powers. Knowing how to persuade people to do things is a key skill in life and business. This often involves having a clear idea of who you're talking to and their specific needs. This will allow you to focus on any potential benefits for them.
Patience. No one likes a hothead, so it's good to be able to keep a level head in stressful situations. The key to being patient is to wait and observe, and know when to act, rather than just jumping in without considering your options.
Knowing your audience. Knowing what, when, and how to say something is critical. Above all, it involves understanding exactly who you're talking to. For example, if you've just been away on holiday while your colleagues have been stuck in the office, it probably isn't a good idea to start talking about your 2-week trip to the beach.
Body language. Body language makes up around 80% of the meaning in the messages we communicate. So, being aware of what your gestures, expressions, and voice are actually saying can really help, and understanding other people's body language may tell you what they're really feeling or thinking.
Start developing your people skills now. You need them. Three funny mistakes.
We all make mistakes. It's a part of life. But some mistakes are clearly more spectacular than others.
The gorilla. A zoo worker in a gorilla suit was accidentally shot with a tranquilizer dart. The employee from a zoo in Tenerife, in the Canary Islands, Spain, was taking part in a drill to ensure zoo staff knew how to respond if a gorilla escaped. Unfortunately, no one told the vet that the gorilla wasn't real. Fearing that there was a gorilla on the loose, the vet fired the shot, designed for a 200-kilogram gorilla, at the man and hit him in the leg, according to La Opinion de Tenerife. The 35-year-old employee, who was wearing underpants under the gorilla suit, was taken to hospital on the Spanish island. He recovered shortly afterwards.
The crane. A young man managed to completely destroy a house. The unnamed Dutchman was planning to use a crane to lower himself into his girlfriend's garden so he could propose to her. Unfortunately, the crane fell through the neighbor's roof. But worse was to follow. Emergency Services spokesman Jel Mulder told AFP during the attempt to right the crane, it slipped and fell on the house again, making the damage even worse. The frustrated lover jumped to safety and no one was hurt. On a happier note, Dutch media reported that despite the fiasco, the girlfriend accepted the marriage proposal.
The cat. A man in the US is offering a £130 reward for the return of his girlfriend's cat, whatever state he's in, which he accidentally sold. Roy Dufek thinks the cat, called Camo, may have hidden inside the base of a bed that he put up for sale on an online site. The bed belonged to his girlfriend Haley, who was moving out of her apartment in Portland, Oregon. Roy was helping her get rid of her extra furniture. In a message he posted on Craigslist, he wrote, "Little did I know that when the cat is scared, it hides inside the bed." After agreeing a price, Roy helped the buyer strap the bed onto the top of his car so he could take it to his home almost 40 kilometers away. Unfortunately, this means the cat could have jumped out at any moment during the journey, Roy explained. Meanwhile, Roy's girlfriend is understandably crushed. Roy added that Camo was her world, blaming himself for losing him. He's currently working with the buyer to search through the house, garage, and garden. Whoops!
Four, naming and shaming websites. Naming and shaming websites are designed to identify and shame people who've supposedly done something wrong. Here are four famous ones.
Passengers. Facebook page Passenger Shaming is full of photos taken by flight attendants and passengers from all over the world. The aim is to highlight some of the unusual, antisocial, and in some cases, disgusting habits of airplane travelers. Passenger Shaming was created by Sean Kathleen, who has been a flight attendant since 2010. The photos capture fellow passengers in unusual sleeping positions, picking their noses, filing their nails, changing babies' nappies, and, as one man was shown to be doing, sleeping with his hands down his trousers.
Homewreckers. Website She's a Homewrecker is a place where wives can name and shame their partner's mistresses. With more than 250,000 Facebook likes, the site includes over 500 mistresses from across the US, complete with their names, locations, and photographs. Profiles also include the details surrounding each affair. One entry features a photograph of an Iowa-based woman described as a homewrecker. An accompanying caption reads, "She will never have his heart like I did, ever." However, not everyone thinks it's such a nice idea, and the site has been described as mean-spirited, horrific, and disgusting.
Late payers. Creditor Watch allows small businesses to name and shame companies that don't pay their bills on time. Colin Porter started it after becoming frustrated with late payers in his own business. Since we launched in January, we've had thousands of members sign up and hundreds of businesses registered for not paying their debts, Colin explained. As they say on the website, ensure your business grows by avoiding bad customers and suppliers. Access credit reports for any company in Australia to determine what sort of risk they represent to your business.
Men. Manspreading is the habit that some men have of parting their legs when they're sitting to form a V shape and taking up a lot more room than is appropriate. This is particularly annoying when they do it on public transport, often taking up more than one seat. In an attempt to stop the practice, several websites and blogs have been set up. One Tumblr site hosts photos of manspreaders in an attempt to shame the culprits. And the Metropolitan Transportation Authority in New York City has launched a series of public advertisements that encourage men to share a little less of themselves. One of the adverts reads, "Dude, stop the spread please, it's a space issue." Are these sites a good idea? Or are they taking things just a little too far?